go marching in. Antiphony is the fancy name for it, but continually reaching out for responses. And if you can, go to some of the black churches where they're doing this, and you'll learn more about song leading than you can learn from me, really. I can show you a lot of different things, but I can't show you any better things than they can show you. I hope Carlton Reese one of these days will be better known. I'm writing a letter to him, actually. Have written a letter to him, I haven't mailed it yet, to see if maybe we could do some concerts together, because I'd like the audiences that hear me to see how he teaches. And he does it with that wonderful gospel piano. Which, gosh, how do you write it down? He's rolling all, he's just covering the keys. Big heavyset guy, about 30 years old. No, I'm not that old. But when he was a teenager, he was involved in the civil rights movement, and Reverend Shuttlesworth counted on him. He said, "Carlton, get this crowd together." And Carlton would get them all together to hear Shuttlesworth give the speech. Yeah. Now, here's the interesting thing. Shuttlesworth was speaking. I heard him 2 months ago in Washington at it was called Voices of the Civil Rights Movement. It was a kind of reunion of people who knew each other in the 60s. Bernice Regan brought it together, and I hope you're going to see it because she took it all on videotape. And Shuttlesworth gives a wonderful talk for about half an hour, describing how Birmingham was organized, how he worked with King, and how he worked on his own sometimes, how he bombed, and he was frank about his own religious feeling. He says, I believe very much in a God that is with me all the time. And he tells how when they tried to bomb him, his bed was right near the corner of the house, and they put 12 sticks of dynamite right near the corner of the house. And splinters of wood went through the wall on the other side, and the bed went out from underneath him, and he was unharmed. He says, I was in the lap of God. And he's a vigorous man in his 40s, I'd say. He was a young man during the civil rights movement, but was brave enough to speak out when no one was else speaking. I mean, he took on Bull Connor, and he fought him down the line on legal grounds, on moral grounds, on religious grounds, and musical grounds, with Carlton there to help him. Carlton says after he finished, Reverend Shuttlesworth, you have to sing such song. I can't remember what song. And Shuttlesworth said, my voice is kind of hoarse today. Oh, you have to sing it. Shuttlesworth sang beautifully. What a beautiful voice. But not only that, Carlton reaches out and he gets the whole crowd singing along with Shuttlesworth. So Shuttlesworth is just giving the lines, and they're coming in with the responses. And just like the ocean supporting a boat, they were supporting him. And he was singing better and better as it went on. And I hope to live to see the day when in Congress, the congressman or congresswoman from Alabama or Georgia will stand up and give all the legal reasons why they're in favor of a certain bill, and all the moral and sentimental reasons why they're in favor of the bill, and then they're going to break into song, and all the other southern congressmen are going to suddenly join in, and the person taking notes is going to say, how do I write this down? Because music and prose just blended so beautifully. I mean, the prose becomes more and more rhythmic and more poetic, and the repetition comes in. The repetition is tremendously important. It gets to where a song has meaning that you can't put in words. I know in some traditions they say in the beginning was the word, but in other traditions in the beginning was the beat. And maybe that's the way I should end this little chapter. So we'll take another 5-minute break and we have one more session. Okay? We have enough for one more session? Yeah. Okay? Rocking and rolling. You're on. In the few minutes we have left, I'll try to specifically answer some of the questions that, in these few minutes, Lord knows I'm sure I've forgotten to say a lot of things. I feel like I'm like an old baseball pitcher. It's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve, and it's handy to know them all. Learning how to use microphones, learning how to tune an instrument quickly, having a lot of different songs in the back of your head so you can handle different situations, because no two audiences are alike. And you and I, we're not like a performer that has a so-called act. We come out and do the same thing over and over again. We're changing always. We want to meet our people halfway. Here's a bunch of human beings. If we're fortunate the human race survives, 50,000 years from now, there'll be human beings on this earth, and they'll be their ancestors, and we're their ancestors. And those people 50,000 years ago will be all our great-great-great-great-grandchildren walking around. So these people out here who I probably disagree with in many things, and they disagree with me about many things, I got to find some way to get together with them. I'll try and reach them halfway. I'll sing some songs that they really want to sing, although they may not be my favorites. But then, having done that, I'll sing them some songs which are my favorites and let them listen to them. And it's this give and take which I think civilization is all about. I can't tell you all the different things. I've tried to tell you something about harmony, rhythm, but don't worry about too much theory. Just get out and do it and try it, and you'll work out your own theories as you, but pour everything you've got into it. You know, Jimmy Durante, when he went out on stage, he said, "Get them all, give them all I got." And that's what we got to do too. Give them all you got. Whether you're a soft, quiet voiced person or a shouter or whatever it is, you still have to give them all you got. And Faith, you were saying something. Something about sharing a song?
Well, yes, there's a difference between performing a song and sharing a song. I'm sure the audience knows what you're doing and responds to what you're doing there very much. To me, I feel like I'm communicating with them all the time. They're giving a lot to me, and I'm a preacher. I'm like you. I do a lot of songs, and then I do the ones I want to do too, to make my points.
Well, we have a tremendous and important job in front of us, all of us, and we can all learn from each other. I have never actually heard you lead a song. I'm going to have to come around. I've tried to talk about the advantages of keeping going and sticking with the song. At the other times, sometimes I've stopped right in midstream. I sung 2 verses, says this isn't the right song. I've quit and gone to something else. Somebody asked a question. Are there times when it's better not to play an instrument while leading songs? I wrote